Welcome back, guys, to LPB Racing and the LPB 2.4 Hours of Le Mans, which is part of our LPB Super Season. This is the full race, and this is going to be part 2 out of 3. Okay, guys, we are back for part 2, and away we go. So it's Callum just getting through past Rodders there. So just to bring you up to speed, if you've not seen part 1 yet, it's been a fantastic first quarter or third of the race. As TY goes into the pits, Will.
Yeah, finally, because he couldn't go any longer.
Yeah, those front tyres might. Well, there's not really much other use for them. Apart from maybe on a skid pan, but yeah, those front tyres dead as we're waiting for TY to come into the pit. Well, let's not wait there much longer, but TY's in the pits nonetheless, as he's still not at his pit box. So there we go, there he is. So he's finally in, get those tyres off, there we are. He's going to change all 4 and we'll back out. We'll probably fuel the car up as well. So let's have a look down in GT. Rodders still in the lead, Gummy Bear in second in class, seat 1 third. And then we've got this battle here with Thingamajig's up to 8th now.
Yeah, that Ford, he's really making it work, because he went from all the way down in last up to 8th in class, which would be, or 8th overall, which would be 4th in class.
Look at the lap time as well, 3:57.1 last time round, 57.6 for Keith, 57.2 for Jamo. So they're helping each other out here.
And then Thingamajig's best lap record was 57.4, so he's not that far off from what everybody else is setting for the top lap times.
We'll go down to the corner. Keith doesn't really go for a move there, but let's hope. So TY's now on fresh tyres, and he's not got much fuel in. So I wonder if TY's just going to go for the quick stints here, and less fuel in the car, less weight in the car, which therefore means better tyre wear. So could be a sensible option for TY.
It could be. Really, is if he could catch this main pack and draft with him, he could save fuel and do this, where you can not put fuel in every single time. That's what a lot of people are probably going to be going for.
Yeah, because that will save a lot of time. As Bidster then at the front of the race still, with Neil Farmer behind. And 225, 226 as last time, because they had a lot of traffic to deal with. As the speed of the Audi passes Bidster. The Audi passes Bidster on pure pace alone.
Yeah, because that Audi has a good pace to it, and like I said earlier, it has a lot powerful hybrid system, so when he has a lot of built up, he's going to get a good gap on that Porsche.
Yep, as we go out the corner, Callum still keeping in within touching distance, but out the Arnage, we all know what car's going to be good out here. The Porsche, because it's got a lot of hybrid to offer. Here he comes. Look, he's a bit late in making the move though. Neil must have had some good hybrid save up there, but Bidster just got through.
And as you see Callum kind of hanging out in the back there, not catching up too fast like we saw him doing earlier.
Look at the fuel, half a tank still for Callum, half a tank still for the diesel car, and the hybrids just above quarter. Well, Bidster on a third, Neil on a quarter. So the Audi's the most thirsty of the 3.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking that I'm wondering if Callum's doing a bit of fuel saving, just not wanting to make the pass, staying behind him intentionally. They're going to go down to lower revs and keep the fuel as long as possible. I think that's where he's going to gain the biggest advantage out of this.
Quicker pit stop and then get out in front and then leave him be as we go out the corner. Let's have a look. Yes, let's have a look. Yeah, Callum, look, he is changing gear earlier. Look, it's going up the bar, but then he is changing gear a lot earlier, whereas the hybrids have got to rev out their cars to actually get the power out of them. So that's where Callum's saving it, and his tyres in. I think it was a good call to use the soft tyres, not the super soft as well, because he's not got to worry about tyres as much.
No, and the super softs, yes, they do come in a lot faster than our tires, but softs only take maybe about a lap here at Le Mans, maybe a half a lap to get up to where the super softs are. So I mean, it's not a bad strategy. It's just your start's not going to get great.
Yeah, so we've got Rodders coming across the line onto lap 14 for the GT cars. So Rodders with a good lead there over Gummy Bear, and the first of the GT cars in the pits is seat 1 in the Porsche.
Yeah, he's really low on fuel now, so he's going to need to make a full sort of stop.
Yeah, as Keith goes through, so everyone else makes a position. Thingamajig, the Ford GT is probably the best of the American cars on fuel so far. Jamo better than the lot of them. Stacker is not doing too bad. He's going to be pitting next lap, I would imagine. Homesick's been in, we missed that one. Homesick's been in the pits, either that or that Aston's very good on fuel. But yeah, I think he's definitely been in the pits. Firepower hasn't yet. Techno, he's still on the hard tyres and he's falling so far back. Look at the lap times, he's not even under a 4 minute.
Yeah, that's where them hards are really the downfall. If it'd be a smart choice to go down to mediums or softs at this point in the race.
Yeah, as we go with, and you're at the back. You've just pitted as well. You've put mediums on. Ooh, bold choice. So mediums on for yourself as you go to the back as you've pitted, and then and also you had that little spin earlier as well, which didn't help your cause. And then Thundercat's in 15th. He's pitted and put super softs on as well. So Firepower's in as well. The other BMW's in. See where did Seat rejoin? 11th. So Seat overall that is. So he's rejoined there, and let's see how he goes. He got full tank of fuel for Seat 1 as well. So which is probably a good thing for the Porsche, because then he can use all that, all those revs.
And imagine to see Stacker back in within the lap. He's probably going to be coming in this lap.
Yeah, Stacker will be. The fuel there will definitely be in this lap. Good call there as Jamo and Thingamajig and Keith. Keith's now ahead of Thingamajig, so Keith takes position back from the Ford GT. Fuel.
So they're all going to be stopping within the next lap or two. Anyway, so that's where it also is going to see what strategy is going to play out better. Who's going to take what tires.
Yep, as Rodders goes through there, and I think we've got a TY in the LMP car catching up to them. So TY, he's look at the gap. He's at Mulsanne corner. They look to Callum. They're already coming towards Porsche curve. So TY's lost a hell of a lot of time.
But his strategy at this point is probably going to be put better tires on, go flat out to it, and make an earlier stop, and he might be able to draw these top 3 in as the race goes on.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work for TY now to do that. The strategy can work, but it's going to require a lot of hard work and no mistakes as we go through with the leaders. So Bidster going on to start lap 17. These cars still not pitted yet. As they go through, Neil Farmack over the curbs, so does Callum. Callum, little penalty there. Through and over the curbs we go, and on to lap 17. Callum's still with the best fuel, the best tyres, and the most threat as we go across the line with Neil with no hybrid left. So again, the Audi at that point in the race where there's no hybrid left in it, and there's just no charge left in the back. So he charges it there, but look, it doesn't charge it much. The Audi really does struggle with charging that hybrid energy, even though it's got a lot of power.
Yeah, because he's having to it's like not the Porsche to where he can charge it as he's moving and braking. So he's only be able to do it under braking. So in the braking zones for these P1 cars aren't that long, so it's going to take a while to charge that back up.
Yep, as we go out of Tetraroos there, Neil Farmack running a bit wide, but he gets away with it. So that's TY. Oh, purple now. He's gone purple. TY. This could. Let's have a look at what this lap time is. This is his first flying lap, I think. Oh, mistake there, over the curb, and let's do it over the line. Let's see what the lap time is.
And it still goes purple.
Still goes purple. That could have been a 3:19 with that. My word. So 3:20.8 for TY. With that could have easily been a 19. So compared to the other guys, he's really going to start catching them soon. Well, not soon, but keep doing the strategy. As Bidster goes back down to 3rd. Okay.
And that Peugeot again doing that really high top speed. That doesn't have a hybrid, but it can pull on straightaways with that diesel.
Yeah, and it's got because it's just got grunts all the way up the gears. Look, 6th gear, and it's still pulling. I know it's in the draft, but it's still pulling. And that Peugeot in qualifying was reaching speeds of 218 miles an hour before the first chicane. The hybrids were only at 205, so that's the difference. 10 mile an hour top speed.
And that's why you saw Callum get pole, because he had that much extra top speed on the other cars.
Yep, and over one lap it is just enough to keep the grunt, to keep it ahead of the other cars as we go into Mulsanne. And Neil Farmack just using the extra bit of road there, and a very neat line there through. And Callum gets a bit scrappy and wide. Bid still then catch up with the hybrid power, but again he'll go through. But then he's only going through because he needs to make as much time as possible, and then Callum will get back. Go out of the corner there as Callum goes around the outside, and Bidster pulls back into the draft. So we're just getting to that point in the race now where things are starting to get a bit more spread out. Strategy's starting to become key. Speaking of strategy, look at Rodders' fuel level. He'll be in this lap, won't he?
He's going to have to be. I mean, unless he wants to crawl around in limp mode.
Yep, not ideal. Gummy Bear there, he's still doing quite well for fuel and still on those medium tyres. Do you think Gummy Bear will stick on the mediums next time, or possibly go to the softs?
I mean, it's going to be a hard one because he's not doing that bad in the mediums, so he could stay out, or he might want to go for a lap time and catch Rodders with the. He still has another lap of fuel, and Keith goes off.
Keith goes off there, so don't know whether there was contact or anything, but yes, Keith goes very wide there. and has lost a bit of time as Thingamajig and Jamo still keep going, so none of them obviously feeling like it was their fault, so it might have just been the fact that Kiefer could have outbraked himself. A bit lower on fuel, last lap time was okay, so no indication that there could have been contact there, so we'll see. But yeah, look, Thingamajig and Jamo now into 7th and 8th, Keith down to 9th in the Corvette. Down to the corner, Stacker. Oh wow, okay, Stacker's really chancing it on fuel here. He's red.
Wow, yeah. It's going to be a tight one. I think he's going to be limping it back in at this point with how much he still has to go and how much these American cars drink.
Yep, and let's hope he comes in this lap, otherwise he will be in limp mode. Seat 1 there in 11th, he's not doing too bad now. 3:56 last time round, so those fresh tyres helping him get a bit more pace back. Home Sikalian on 3:57 last time round, so not quite the pace of Seat 1, but it's okay. Techno is still out there on the hard tyres, so you've got to give him credit for still trying to keep going on the hard tyres, but I don't think it's the right choice in my own personal view. Thundercat is in 14th, and look at the Thundercat's winning the penalty race, 8.9 seconds. That's mad. As Firepower goes out the chicane there, he's in 15th place. We've got Roral in 16th. What are you doing back there? What's happening?
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out, just having a chill, you know. But yeah, it's the last lap wasn't good. It was a 4:10. There's sliding into the chicane there, wide as anything on the way out. I don't think those medium tyres are agreeing with you.
No, they really didn't agree with that BMW. That car really loves the softs, the super softs.
And yeah, unfortunately, you learn the hard way because you learned after the race, not during. So yeah, unlucky so far for you, but you never know, you might be able to claw some places back as Neil, Bidster and Callum are still together, the 3 LMP cars. If you were thinking that it was going to be boring just with having 4 LMP cars, you are wrong, because these 3 have been together almost the whole of the race. 2 hours together with them probably up until about the end of lap 11, 12, but yeah, that was it, and the tyres just said, no, I've had enough. And he's back there now, and the last lap was a 3:22, so big difference from the 3:20 that it did the previous lap.
And it's going to be interesting when all these cars pit in the top 3, because we're going to see who can get out the quickest, or if they're going to spread out.
Yep, here we go down the straight, so I did a little breather myself as Bids. Well, I'm taking a breather with the microphone, but not with this, because we've got Bidster right behind Neil now, as now we've approached more traffic. Well, it's traffic time again.
And it's going to be one more time navigating. Yeah, it's one car, but that one car can also make it to where you lose, not even a second gap to the car ahead of you, to making it a 2-second gap just within one car.
And there goes your draft, and there goes the chance of your place. If you go out the corner, but they are going to catch him in a good place here. He's going to go straight on the hybrid, and Bidster's going to go past him as well at the same time. Bidster going through past the Audi, takes the lead back.
And that's that traffic game again, because maybe Neil had to go a bit wider, or Bid could have got a decent line coming out of there.
Yep, as we go out the corner, out through the Porsche curves now. Bidster pulling away now, so it looks like Bidster's putting his foot down a bit now. Through the corner, still got quarter of a tank of fuel left. Neil's, look at the fuel difference. That could be the game changer.
Yeah, and with Neil being right at the front, he really hasn't had any time to save fuel, so maybe he's going to try to step behind you and try to save a bit of fuel in his next lap.
Yeah, as we go through the chicane, so it could be a very good possibility that as we go at the chicane, Neil trying to see Neil riding the brakes through the chicane a bit, trying to save up a bit more hybrid to get a run out the corner. Bidster gets past Thundercat, and Neil should as well, hopefully. It's going to be a tight one. Oh, he has to wait.
He's going to have to go around now. Oh, yeah, he's going to have to wait. That's going to really hurt his time.
Yeah, because Thundercat goes out in the corner, and then now these guys can get through, and Callum's right back in this now. Oh, Thunder having a bit of a moment out the corner. Callum hesitated there, and he's lost a bit of time to Neil. But Neil's being hurt the most, because Bidster's already gone. He's already towards Tetra Rouge. There he is. And now Neil.
And that's like I was saying, that one car can make it to where you can go right on the bumper to 3 seconds back.
But the one advantage that Neil's got now is he's got the Peugeot behind him, and the Peugeot will pass him, and the Peugeot is faster than the Porsche anyway. So
Neil goes in the wall.
Okay, that was strange. So yeah, Neil went wide, almost into the wall. Callum backed off and thought, nah, let's stay behind you. Now they go to the chicane. Now will Callum go for the move? No, he's not. He's going to wait. Blue flags. Whoa! Neil
Neil
Farmack
has a
slides the
moment.
car. I didn't know they installed handbrakes on these Le Mans cars, but apparently they do. As Neil Farmack uses it, slides the car and says to Callum, "You're not coming through." Because what's the best way to defend? Put the car sideways because it's longer. But don't try this at home, boys and girls. But yes, Neil Farmack keeps the second place with some rather abrupt defending there, as now they've got more traffic to deal with.
And it looks like Callum's going to stick behind the Audi, so he's going to lose a lot of time doing that.
And that's hard tyres on the Audi as well. Maybe not, because the Audi goes wide and gives him a little free gift there. As Stacker then gets passed by the Audi, and it should. And now the Peugeot will get a bit of a draft up the hill as well, which will help. Should get past him by Mulsanne. Oh yeah, easy. You can tell there with the gap. Straight out, straight past. And Stacker says, "I'll have a bit of that draft, please. I need to save some fuel in this Viper." Oh, Callum with the slide of the, well, not quite the slide of the day. I think Neil Farmack still wins that, but yeah. Oh, Rodder's in. Look, whoa, fuel. Wow, 2 litres left.
That was close on that one.
That was either time to perfection or pure luck. Wow. And now will Gummy follow him? No. Gummy Bear stays out. So the drama unfolding here. Rodder's in the pits, not even in his pit box yet. And then we've got Gummy Bear going through to take the class lead. Ferrari leads.
And now if he can stretch his time out, because Rodder's going to have to do a full service stop, so he's going to have to drag this out.
Look who's
Gemma
second.
Goes in next. And now the Ford coming from back of class at the second. That's for consistency. Is really helping them out.
Yep, as Jamo's in as well, and then we've got to see where things happen because we're Seek and Homesick were near Jamo when they were battling, I think. So we'll see how. Oh, a bit of a twitch there as Rodders comes out the pits. Rodders is out the pits, so he comes back out in third in class. So should come out close to Gummy Bear. As we've got Jamo now, he's in the pits. Tyres change, fuel going in. So he's just going to wait for the fuel. So seat 1 takes that position. Homesick goes through. There's Bidster in the background. And that's a big gap. Oh, Neil got stuck behind Keith.
And that's going to draw the gap out a bit more because he had to sit through that slow Ford chicane. Again,
the Audi getting stuck there. Now we've got more traffic rejoining the track. Jamo rejoins as Keith comes up. As Jamo should get this. And now Callum's got to pass another slower car into the corner round the outs. Oh, wow. That was timing. Well, that was definitely out of the Callum book of tricks.
Yeah, that was getting pretty brave because all that car had to do was move over to get that corner, and that could have just ruined Callum's race.
That was slight desperation there by Callum. I think you were thinking there, I do not want to lose any more time to Neil. I need to go now, and I don't care. I'm going to have to get past. I'm going to have to try something. It worked though. Hats off to him. It worked, but risky. You don't want to be trying that in a 2.4-hour race.
No, especially at this point. We're not even at the halfway point yet. And getting a bit risky with the moves.
Yeah, a little bit risky with the moves as we go with Callum. And Neil Farmack there, he's got Homesick in front of him now, but he should be okay with that because he should be able to get the hybrid power and pass him on the exit. But Neil Farmack's fuel is now in the red.
Yeah, he'll be stopping this lap, and now probably let Callum go through to second.
Callum can keep going for ages and ages and ages in that car, and Bidster's got quite a few more laps left in it as well. And another fastest lap from Bidster, 3:20.5 now.
So that's just on that how good that Porter's fuel economy is.
Yeah, and the tyres are still looking quite fresh as well. So the tyres definitely not a worry in the prototype class, apart from if you call TY, because TY's not been doing too bad. 320, 322, 23s. So not too bad, but Bidster's still going fast in that Porsche. There's Neil. We're now going to catch up to seat 1. This is not going to be a good place. He's going to get him right on Mulsanne corner. Neil goes through. What about Callum?
And again, Callum just gets put in the worst positions.
Oh, he's not got too bad this time. Not too bad this time, though.
Yeah, not this time.
Not too bad.
It seems like every other time he gets caught in the worst spot to pass, and he just loses so much time because of it.
Yeah, as we let's have a look. I'm just trying to look for this other battle further down the pack. Techno. I thought I saw a few cars close together, but clearly not. I think it was TY lapping a few people. Ah, there it is. It's TY coming through. I thought I saw a bit of an arrow moving quickly in the dartiness of that Nissan between the corners. But there he goes, straight past Techno. Techno the fastest lap so far, so the hard's just about bedding in. It's just the fact that the fuel's gone down, but 401.4 for Techno, his fastest lap. But he needs to get on a set of soft tyres now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's helping on the long run, but it's not helping out with the pace because to catch back up to the front runners, he's going to have to go on soft just to deal with having to pit a bit soon.
Yeah, because it's all right having the long run pace, but you've got to make the it's all right having the pace, but you've actually got to make the distance as well. So you've got to match them both up. Gummy stays out. Clearly confident in his fuel level for one more lap. So yeah, Thingamajig's in from second place. He's in the Ford GTs, 2 litres left, so he went down to the wire. So it looks like they're all trying to the GTs are trying to make it last as long as they can here. Rodders comes through. Callum's passed him, so Callum's not had a problem with traffic this time round. So phew. Seat 1 comes up, got homesick. So Thingamajig. I wonder where Thingamajig's going to come out here. This is going to be interesting to see how much he's caught up on this stint. Ford goes up on the jacks. Wheels change, good graphics here from GTSport. Just wish it'd do this on all tracks where it simulates the time through the pits, where it doesn't actually, where you actually do the time through the pits, it doesn't simulate it. So, because it does actually make it a bit more realistic. Go to Homesick in 8th. He's through. Keith's coming up to the line as well with Jammer behind him. Thingamajig's rejoining, and Keith and Jammer were coming up. Can he get up to speed in time? I think he can, Will.
Yeah, he's going to just make it to the corner to get right back up the race pace, just ahead of the 2 behind him.
Yeah, there they are. Keith and Jammer through the corner there. We've got blue flags waving, so we've got a slow car up ahead or something, but the blue flags waving for some reason. Why would that be? Can't see anyone. Oh, strange one.
I don't see a prototype anywhere near him.
No, I don't. TY.
Oh, TY's in the background, okay.
The blue flag's been presented very early. So there goes TY. Now let's have a look at the speed difference. Here's the speed difference. There's TY, and there they go. Straight past, that's the speed difference. And then we draft him back up to the back of Thingamajig. And let's do the puppy cam again. There he goes. Straight past. That is insane speed difference, that. Mad. Down the straight, TY is still trying to catch up to the rest, but the lap times just aren't showing for him at the minute. There's Bidster, and Neil's still going in the red.
He's dragging this one out, trying to stay as close as he can, or far as he can for Callum. He knows he's going to get past in the pits once he pits.
Did you see that sector time there, Will? 4/10 faster this time, so it looks like Neil is definitely pushing on an in-lap, because strategy-wise, on your in-lap and your out-lap, theoretically should be the fastest laps of your race, even though they're not official lap times. You need to try and make them the fastest ones you can, to try and be in and out as fast as you can.
Yeah, and then try to keep the pace to the person behind you, because Callum, with how much fuel he has left, will definitely go by. So he's trying just to drag that gap as much as he can, and he goes purple.
Another 2/10 faster than Bidster's fastest lap. So look, you see him visually catching Bidster there. Bidster 2:23 last time round, so back onto the regular pace. So he probably just did a one-hit wonder and then thought, I'll just back off now. But still the gap impressive there. As Callum's tyres looking a bit more worse for wear now. Even the soft tyres are starting to become a bit more of a hazard.
But we're probably going to see him stretch those tyres out into his fuel run.
As we got Gummy Bear still in the lead. Oh, I can't see any fuel on that dial. That thing must be running on vapour.
He's got to be at this point, because he was in the red starting this lap, so he's got to come in this lap.
He quickly needs that Ferrari to turn into a hybrid to get to the pits, I think, because that is just absolutely just none left. As Neil's in. You were right, Will. Neil's in.
Yeah, and we're going to see him do a full service here, because them tyres are getting pretty low on the front especially. Yeah,
I wonder what compound he'll go for as well. That'll be interesting, as Gummy Bear there he goes. He's found the pit lane. He's slowing down now. Into the pits comes the Ferrari. The leader of GT comes in, which means the lead will go back to Rodders, because Rodders is just there. And yep, so it was still 2. It was I don't think that's 2 litres. I think the game's kidding us there. That looks like -1, not 2. But let's see what the tyres Neil's gone on. Neil is he's putting his fuel on now. Putting his fuel in. We can't see the tyre thing will not change yet until it comes out the pits. There goes TY could pass Neil here.
This is going to be a big drama in the race, where Neil is with the front runners now. TY goes in the third.
Neil's still in the pits. He's still putting fuel in, so TY takes 3rd place. There he goes. He's on the super soft tyres and a full tank of fuel. So same as what he did before. Why change what him broke? As TY gets stuck behind Rodders though, that's not helping.
And that's going to slow him up just a bit coming out of the Dunlop, the chicane.
But, since his fuel stop, Will, since his tyre stop on lap 14 for these fresh tyres, he's actually gone a lot better on these tyres because he's managed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 laps on these tyres and push and not actually having to go down as much, which is a good sign.
Well, actually, it almost looks like he stopped on lap 21, but it has a P next to it at the time.
No, that doesn't mean that, I don't think, because otherwise he'd have pit 4 times in the last 10 laps, which is a bit unrealistic. I think that P is like a personal best or something. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Oh well, that's one for the books to look at. But no, the P isn't for pit stop, I don't think. Otherwise it'd pit on 15 and 17 if you look there. So unless there's a penalty.
Penalty, okay.
That'll probably be it. He'll acquire a penalty. It's alright, it's fine. It's good observation as Neil breaks into the chicanes. Look at the pace now they've got fresh tyres. Now, can he make a faster outlap than Bidster can make an inlap? Highly possible because of the tyre difference, but also got to take fuel into account as well. Will Bidster pit this lap to respond, or will he go around, do you think?
I'm almost thinking he's going to go around, trying to drag these stops out as much as he can.
The tyres are still not bad on that Porsche. Fuel could probably do a couple more laps, and Callum could theoretically keep going to the half distance mark if he wanted to, or just over the half distance mark. So yeah,
and that diesel showing again how long it can drag itself out, because yes, it's a diesel, but diesels surprisingly get really good mileage.
Yeah, they do, they really do, and yeah, anyone that thinks that the hybrids will last, I don't think so, because the diesel is the way to go if you want more fuel economy. Because diesels are actually sometimes better on fuel than hybrids are. So, yeah, Rodders there in the. So back to GT then. Let's just give us a little round of the. Let's give us a little round of the GT car. So Rodders in the lead then. We've got Seek in second. That's not too much of a bigger gap. That's not too bad. We can see Homesick. Wow, the Aston Martin's come alive in 7th. It's really come alive.
Oh, it has, and he probably will be getting closer because he's almost within drafting range, really. If
you think what happened to Homesick earlier on in the race, where he had quite a few moments within 2 or 3 laps and lost a lot of time in a lot of places and pace. We've got Thingamajig in the Ford GT. He's actually come out of the pits and he's now up into 3rd in class. Gummy Bear goes back down to 9th, and he's stuck with the mediums. Ooh, now that's interesting.
Yeah, and now we're going to see Ford versus Ferrari one more time at Le Mans.
Yeah, Ford versus Ferrari. It's happening again as Jamo kicks up the kitty litter in the background, and Keith shows him the line he should be taking. So Jamo trying a bit harder in that Supra now, but just doesn't like it's got quite the grunt to get past the Corvette.
Yeah, and he's going to, I mean, that's where that Supra is going to come in as the braking zone. So that's going to be interesting to see where Jamo wants to try it going into a brake zone.
And also the advantage of the fuel economy as well, because if we look at Jamo's fuel there, we're going to switch to Keith now. There's actually a couple of laps difference on fuel easy, so that could be a difference maker as well. So we've got Stacker in 12th position in the Dodge, all alone on track. Very boring race for him so far. Then we've got Thundercat in 13th, the penalty king, who's still got 7.6 second penalty, and drifting the Viper like it's in Formula Drift, and Firepower following him. So yeah, those two having a nice little slidey battle. And Techno still at the back. No, he's on now. He's finally gone to the soft tyres. He's finally pitted for the softs.
Yeah, now you're going to hopefully see him try to drag at least Firepower back into him, so because he's on the better tire now for that car.
Yeah, it should make his race a bit more interesting, which is what we want. So we want to try and get him a bit further back up there if we can. So there we go. So let's go back to the leaders then. So it's Bidster. And you're right, Will, he's not pitted yet. He's going to try and go as long as he can. He's still not pitted, but the last lap was a 3:24. Callum a 3:24. TY 3:23. Neil's in the 22s.
And Neil's really trying to get this pace to reel TY back in, so he doesn't lose too much time.
And also, if you think about it as well, compared to the distance that he had between himself and Bidster as well, Neil and Bidster, that's going to be quite in the favour of Neil when it comes to Bidster pitting, because it should put Bidster out behind him.
It should, because Bid's going to have to take a full service stop with fuel and new tires. So, and also that long pit run. So it's going to be interesting to see where these cars come out with each other, and this battle is probably going to reignite.
Yeah, well, let's hope it does, because the first sort of 12, 13 laps of this race were absolutely insane. You'd have thought it were a sprint race, wouldn't you, Will?
Oh yeah, you would, because nobody's going to let somebody go or just sit back. They're going to try to go this whole race battling like this.
And it's like in modern endurance races now, especially at Le Mans and that, the cars are that well made now that the cars are that well made they can just go so long. As we just saw Neil Farmack there in the background, he's closing up on TY again. The front tyre's starting to get short on that Nissan, so I would say it might be a 10-lap deal with that Nissan for tyres.
Yeah, it's probably going to have to be for TY to keep any pace. He's just going to have strong in and out laps.
If he does it now, Will, if you look at the laps that we're actually on now, 23 or 43, if he does it now, theoretically he's only got to pit once more. If he pits now, he's only got to pit once more after.
Yeah, and so that will probably be the strategy he's going to have to go with.
If he pits now, I'll be gobsmacked. As Bidster goes round again. What's this thing running on?
That's the hybrids for you. He's got that extra hybrid power to keep running.
Mad. There's Callum, he's going out. TY hasn't gone in this time, so he's clearly thinking something else compared to us. So he obviously wanted to go a bit longer as Neil Farmack comes out the chicane there, and he's see what this lap time is for Will this time. Not for Will. That's you. That's Neil. 22.6, so 2/10 quicker.
He's really pushing to try to catch TY because he wants to get ahead of him before TY needs to make a stop.
Using all the road and more there. Rodders then in the lead of GT. He's got a good, I would say that's a 10-second gap over Seat, because he's just coming towards the Porsche curves there, and Rodders is already in him. I'd say that's just over a 10-second gap. Would you agree?
Yeah, about a 10-second gap. He's really getting that lead out there.
Yeah, and 3:56 last time round for Rodders, and a 3:58 last time round for Seats. And Rodders still with the pace in the Nissan. Very good, in an impressive pace around here.
Yeah, that Nissan does have really good pace around here. I mean, it's not bad on tires, it's not bad on fuel. Has great low-end torque. This track is
nice at cutting
really
corners there as well.
Yeah,
nice at cutting corners there as well, trying to go for the fastest way around. There's Seat 1.3 second penalty, probably ran wide out the Corvette curves more than likely. Over the curves there. Homesick in the Aston Martin. Looks like the Aston Martin's coming alive at this section. 3:57 compared to a 3:58 for a Seat, so looks like the Aston's on the move.
Yeah, the Aston's going to start reeling Seek back in, because that's not that big of a gap, maybe 3-4 second gap.
Yeah,
so
that's
he'll
not
be
too much.
within drafting range in the next few laps.
And Thingamajig is in 8th place, so overall 4th place in class. So yeah, 4th place. Just checking there, checking my maths right. 3:57.1 for Thingamajig. He's on the same pace as Rodders. Could this be in this next stint, Will? Could we see the Ford GT eventually catching the Aston and the Porsche?
Possibly. I mean, has great pace. He has the pace of the leader of class. So as long as he can play his pit stop strategy right and not make any mistakes, he could have a chance to be top 3 when this race ends.
Which is what we want to see. We want to see the Ford up there. We want to see Thingamajig up there. As we've got Gummy Bear there in 9th. I'm not sure if the mediums are the right way to go for this second half, but still, it could work. But he is being caught by these two, Keith and Jamo. I'm not sure if that was the right way to go.
Now, at this point in the race, at the first half, I can see some mediums going on because he didn't have bad pace on the start. But at this point in the race, you're wanting to go for all-out pace, because as you see,
soft, super soft, yeah.
10th and 11th are starting to catch him.
Bids is in.
And Bid comes in now.
Bids is finally in. The Porsche running on pure hybrid power into the pits, I would imagine. As Callum comes through the last chicane, Callum's going to take the lead, and he's got a slow techno in front of him. And finally gets him at the corner, but yeah, Callum takes the lead and out now. How long do you reckon Callum could go here?
He's still on his pace. He could still maybe go another 5-10 laps. Because he's the only car not to pit.
Yeah, he's the only car not to pit, and I reckon personally we could see him go to lap 30 maybe.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
And then a 13-lap sprint to the end.
And yeah, that he's looking to go on a one-stop race. That's really going to help his strategy out. And TY comes through now, so he's doing something to make this car work on low tires. I mean, they're a quarter of the way gone now.
TY comes back into second now. Bids has come out the pits, and look where Neil is. Bids is out in front of Neil.
That's interesting, because I figured Neil would go through with the full service stop Bid would have to do.
Yeah, and the last lap round, look at the consistency of Neil Farmack here. 3:22 first lap out there, 3:22.8 first lap, then it was a 22.6, 22.6. The last 2 laps we've been within 5/10 of 5,000ths of a second of each other. That's consistent driving.
And you're going to see him need to do that to catch this pack.
To come through, so now we've got TY. Now, will TY pit now, put himself out to sink, and then try and do the same thing again and get consistent 22s all the way down? Because then that could see him at the end of the race come really good. But if he stays out much longer, he's not going to have much tyres left.
No, and if he does stay out much longer, you're going to see what happened before the first pit stop. You're going to see him start falling more back, and then I don't know if he's going to have enough time to do what he's done here and draw himself back up a second.
Yeah, because I always say, well, when it comes to endurance racing, you need to make a long strategy work. You've still got to have the decent pace to make it work. Because it's right going long, but if you're going slow, you're not going to make you're not going to benefit from it. So. And
we're seeing that 100% from Techno, where he tried to do the hards at the start, but he doesn't have the pace on the hards to stick with everybody. Yes, you may be able to stay out a lot longer, but if you don't have the pace, that's not going to do you any good.
And you can see there, lap 19, he did a 3:58.0, but that was his outlap, so he probably did a bit of a slightly faster outlap. Sometimes it doesn't count the outlaps, but his fastest lap's still a 4:01.4. I think he's just getting used to these soft tyres at the minute, because he's run hards most of the race, so he's probably just getting to the surprise grip level of that Audi.
Yeah, you basically go from no grip to just all of a sudden, wow, I can take this corner a lot faster, I can brake a lot sooner in this corner and not slide. And
if you look here, Thundercats as well, he's all over the place into Indianapolis, but then you look at Techno, he's just coming up to the same piece of tarmac. So Techno's actually on the move here, he's actually starting to catch Thunder.
Yeah, and he is. So that's gonna be interesting to see if Techno can get around Thunder, and Thunder is really not that far off of Firepower in the BMW.
Yeah, Firepower not doing too bad, and they've got a big gap between them and Stacker as well, so Stacker on his own in 12th, very boring race for him so far. Oh, here we go, battle time, do take it away, Will.
And the Corvette looks like it goes around the inside of the Ferrari, and he's gonna take it down the Dunlop.
Ran wide into the apex though. Not going to help him out the corner, and Gummy Bear could get him back here, but the tyres might not be helping Gummy Bear. Remember, mediums.
No, and Gummy Bear is going to most likely have to sit behind and wait to get that draft in the Mulsanne.
Yeah, I think Gummy Bear made a mistake there with the tyre wear. He should have gone onto the soft tyres, I think. But then again, the Ferrari might be more comfortable on the hard tyres. We don't know this, but yeah, the SMP Racing Ferrari. I said AF course before. Do apologise. It is SMP Racing. As we go down the straight, he's in the draft of the Corvette now. Can't see him.
And it looks like he's going to sit behind. I don't think he's going to make a move down the first chicane, but he might be in. If he can get a good run on the chicane, he might be able to get him before the second chicane.
Jamo as well. Jamo just waits in the wings for anything to happen as they brake. Keith brakes a bit later into the corner. Oh, perfect on the brakes there for the Corvette. Perfectly judged. Nice defence there by Keith. Coming out as the mother of all tank slappers on the way out of the corner, and Jamo not close enough to take advantage though.
No, he's not close enough, but he's probably at the point where he's probably going to catch him as soon as he goes in that second chicane, but I have to sit behind and wait.
Yeah, as we look at Callum there, Callum in the lead, he's still not pitted yet. And he's going faster, personal best of the race with warm tyres. 3:22.1 for Callum, so now he's pushing. He knows the others are pitted, he knows what he needs to do, he's on it.
Yeah, he knows in the next 4 or 5 laps he's going to have to be pitting, so he's trying to get that gap stretch as far as he can and not lose that place when he comes back out.
Yeah, let's have a look at the revs as he comes out of this corner, because this is the one benefit that we've got with the telemetry. Look how much he cuts the corner there, trying to use all the road he can. And yeah, he's revving it up a bit more now. He's going to about halfway. Before he was only going to about there. Now he's revving it up a bit further. So he's doing whatever he can. He's got some traffic coming up though. Let's see if he still has not broke this jinx of the traffic, because he seems to have been hindered by traffic all race, Callum.
Yeah, he has, and that's why you saw him falling more back when he was in third, not keeping with the top 2 cars, because he would just catch the traffic at the worst times and lose a bunch of time.
That's not good. You don't want to do that. You see, now he actually catches Stacker at a good point, but look here, we've got Bidster and TY. TY's still not pitted yet.
No, and he's probably going to have to because his fuel's getting a bit low, and his tires, he's not going to have the same traction coming out of the corner as the Porsche will.
Because speaking of that, we come out the corner, and there we go, straight away. That's not just hybrid power, that's grip as we go out the corner.
Yeah,
but now
pure out grip.
But now he's straight back through again.
And there's the top speed of the Nissan.
Yeah, and then into it. But this will not be helping Bidster because he wants to try and get as fast as he can to try and keep close with Callum. But again, can't help TY trying with the top speed as we go into the corner. You'll see here that look out on the brakes, right behind him already. Into Indianapolis, down into the. Why do they call that corner Indianapolis? Well, it's because they have the banking, doesn't it?
I always thought it was because it was paved with bricks at one point.
Well, that and that. It's always been a bit more of a bank corner as well. But yes, they did have it sort of a few bricks around the edge, which is sort of where they got the inspiration from. But mainly because it's actually one of the few bank corners on the track. And they took it after the oval. So there you go. We both learn something new every day. I didn't know about the brick thing. You didn't know about the banking thing. Because Bidster goes wide and TY has a little look and he's not. The front tyres might be down on that Nissan, but he's not showing it.
No, he's not, and that's where TY is also good with his car. He's good with cars that are like this, so he should be able to do good as long as he can keep on a consistent strategy and make these tires work.
He's still not pitting yet, still not bothering because he's thinking, right, I've got a draft of a Porsche now, I'm staying out. So let's see. He hops over the curbs there and out of the corner, and Bidster pulls away. That could be the bigger. Bidster, well, he's battling with TY and he does a 320.1.
Yeah, that
okay.
Porsche is a fast car.
Yeah, that Porsche is a fast car. Nothing to do with the driver at all. Nothing at all. As TY runs wide.
A good driver, and TY goes wide.
Fairly average driver, I would say. As TY runs wide, and that's the gap gone. That's the gap gone. Unless he can make a really good effort through this section, I don't think he's close enough for the draft anymore.
No, he's not. With them worn tires, especially in the fast corners, he's going to lose a bit of time.
Yeah, that's the gap. You can see it there. Actually, that could be close enough for a tiny little bit.
Yeah, he might just catch it, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to. You know, these two chicanes, so you're not going to have the grip level as a Porsche will. And the Porsche will get a bit more of a jump out to keep that draft distance a bit further.
Pardon the camera swapping there. I was just comparing the speed, and yeah, it was identical top speed. So TY losing a bit of his draft there as they come up to more cars to lap here. Let's have a look at the GT cars. I think that was I was trying to get to there. That's Keith and Gummy Bear and Jamo. So they're the three that they're approaching now. So it's still Gummy Bear sticking with these two cars with the medium tyres, but I still think it could be a lot further up if it had gone for the softs, but still not doing too bad. But I would have thought Keith would have had a bit more pace than this, and Jamo.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd figure that with Gummy being on the mediums, they would probably get around him a lot quicker. I'm almost wondering if Jimmo is trying to stick behind to save fuel and just at the last second pull out past him.
Yeah, could be. Let's have a look, fuel levels. Jimmo's actually worse on fuel than the rest.
But he also, hasn't he been out longer than the rest?
Yes, I think he has. Yeah, Keith has as well. I think Keith and Jamo pitted more or less near enough about a lap apart. So Gummy Bear pitted obviously later with the medium. So yeah, that explains why then. So as Bidster comes up to him now, Bidster comes up and he's trying to get round. He's on the dirt.
Oh yeah, and he might lose a bit of time here, but he's still a good gap away from TY. So
yeah, and look where TY is going to get him. Right at Indianapolis.
He's going to get him in one of the worst places on this track, lap traffic in Indy.
Yeah, Indianapolis into Arnage, not the best place to catch traffic. Actually, I think the worst place is to do Porsche curves because there's not really because of the flow around there. There's not really any way past. Here, he's only just caught up to him now, so he can wait now, then move to the side, and then get the power on and get past them all. So you should see there he is, pops out, and then uses the grunt, and there he is, straight past, easy as that. So he didn't actually hold himself up too much. There.
Noticing that in the background, you can see the Viper. So Stacker is catching that backpack in GT.
Yes, he is. There, good call there. Well, I've not seen that. So yeah, Callum Stacker is catching up to the pack, and Callum is still going around red on fuel, but he's still not bothered because red on fuel for a diesel car probably means about a quarter tank for the hybrid. So you know, not too worried so far.
And as we're seeing other people, they're dragging it out to 2 liters left of fuel, so that's not nothing new for this race.
Yeah, they're really trying not to go as far as they can. So Bid's then across the line now, and across the line he goes, and the lap time is a 3:21.5. 25.6 last time around for Callum, so he's done that fast lap, and now he's dipped back down into the 26.25s now. That could be traffic, but also that could be tyres.
Yeah, it could be there, because Callum's tyres are now getting to the point to where they need to be changed.
And now TY is getting Callum's look when it comes to traffic. He's catching at all the wrong places as he finally gets past Thingamajig, who's running in a very good 4th in class in the Ford GT. Let's have a look at that gap actually, Will. Let's have a look, because we've got... There's Homesick. He's actually closing on seat here. You see there the Porsche down the road. And then we look at Homesick to Thingamajig. He's only just on the straight, so he's catching.
And he's catching. He might have it, because the GT cars are going to have to pit 1, maybe 2 more times. So he could have a good chance of getting in the top 3 in the final laps of this race.
There's the 2 leaders passing each other. The LMP1 leader passes the GTE leader on lap 24 of this race as Callum goes through there. So Rodder's in the lead. So Rodder's lap time 3:57. Let's all judge this on the last lap that we did. 3:57.0 for the GT leader. 58.7 for Seek. 58.3 for Homesick. So Homesick's going faster, and now he's going faster with the draft from Bid as well. And then we've got Thingamajig on a 3:58.6. But if you look at the previous lap times, 57.1, 57.8, 57.6, so definitely got some pace in that car.
Yeah, the Ford's not a bad car around here, really, and so he's going to probably be catching this lead pack, even though they're spread out.
And look here, Gummy Bear's into 9th, and Keith's gone back down to 11th. Keith goes from 9th to 11th, so possibly a mistake there, but I don't know, but Jamo's now going for it on Gummy Bear, finally.
Yeah, now you're going to see Jamo probably trying to make these passes as the race gets in its final half of the race.
Yeah,
not want to stick too far behind.
Yeah, he's now decided now is the time to start pushing, and Keith. Well, again, Keith could have fallen back for a reason. He could be trying to fuel save. And if you look, he's changing gear a bit early as well.
Yeah, so it looks like he's trying to fuel save that car to maybe not have to take as much fuel on his last stop.
Yeah, quicker stop means quicker time in the pit lane, which means more positions and more track time gained as we go into the corners. I think that was a little lock up there from Jamo, but I think he's okay. Or it could have been Gummy Bear on the medium tyres on a little lock up there, because Jamo gets alongside now in the side by side.
Yeah, now it's going to a drag race down, and Keith's just going to have to sit behind, which looks like he's wanting to anyway to save fuel, and Jamo tucks right back in the gun.
Yeah, as we're on board with Keith here, as you see. They see him just backing off the throttle there. Look at Keith's throttle control, backing off the throttle. Not wanting to get involved in this and just wanting to save a bit more fuel as well. And Jamo's doing the same, he's feathering his throttle as well. So, all happening there. Callum's into the pits, but we know he's in the pits. We'll have a look at him in a minute. We're just going to stick with this battle here first, because we know Callum's in, so we'll have a look at our close bits viz in a moment. But Jamo and Gummy still together as we go through Arnage. And it looks like... Oh! Gummy gets on the curb, that's going to lose momentum.
And I don't know, Jamo might get right beside him, but with how he's feathering the throttle, but now he's getting in the top revs, so he might be in the next lap or two wanting to challenge for that 9th place position.
Just going to quickly slip away from this for a minute. Bidster takes the lead, TY hopefully going to be second, and Callum still putting fuel in 3rd. Quickly back to this battle here. Keith trying to go around the outside, side by side round Porsche curves at this stage of the race. These two are mad.
Yeah, that's crazy with how much time we still have.
And Jamo gets the place. Keith has to fall back to the LMP1s then. It is Callum who comes out in 4th. Ooh, behind Neil Boltley, look. Faster pit stop, not put as much fuel in. He thinks that's enough.
I mean, it could be enough because we're getting down to the last 14 laps of the race. So that's with how he's been running on fuel, and TY is getting a bit low now, so he's going to be making his final stop in the next lap or two.
So, overall positions then on lap 29 of this race. We've got Bidster in the lead. And then we've got TY in second, but due at pit stop, so he will not be there for very much longer, but he could make a comeback towards the end of the race like Will was explaining earlier. Then we've got Neil in 3rd with Callum right behind him in 4th position there. Do you want to take us to the GT cars, Will?
Then we got Rada's in 5th leading the GT class. And then we got Seek 1 in the Porsche in 2nd. Then we got Homesick in the Aston Martin in 3rd. Then we got Thingamajig and the Ford in 4th in class. Then we have the battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th for Gummy Bear, Jamo, and Keith. And then Stacker in 12th alone by himself. And we have Firepower in the BMW in 13th, and 14th is Thundercats, and last in class would be Techno.
And he's really closing in on him now. He's into the 4-minute lap times. He could be looking at a sub 4-minute lap time at some point, because Techno he didn't really have the pace in qualifying in that car, but well, on the softs he weren't doing too bad. But oh, Thunder's in, so that means he's definitely not last now.
Yeah, now he's going to be picking up that position. Thundercats is really going to have to be pushing to get that position back. And the Audi's not that far off the BMW now.
It's a full service as well for Thunder as well, which is not going to help his cause.
No, he's going to be losing a lot of time.
And Firepower, he's sort of in the middle of a stint. He's sort of pitted sort of abnormally compared to everyone else, and he's sort of put himself in a sort of a unique situation. So that could help him towards the end.
It could come out in the end to help him.
Bits there. Out of Arnage, and we've got TY still circulating around, but with those dead tyres and no fuel, I would imagine now will be the time. And then we've got Callum's ahead of Neil. Callum's passed Neil for 3rd, so Neil then will try and stick behind Callum now, but I can see Callum now going to the end of the race. I don't see Neil doing that.
No. And at this point in the race now, would you think Callum would want to push and try to give as much distance as he can while on track, or just kind of hang back and pass people in the pits?
I would say really now Callum is well, looking at the fuel he's put in, he's obviously confident he's got enough fuel to get to the end, so I would say now is push time for Callum. He knows the tyres can last the distance, but I would definitely say, I would say now would be push time. Even if he has to just quickly come in for a little splash and dash of fuel, he wouldn't have to change tyres. So I reckon now it's going to be 100% for push now for that Peugeot.
And now you see we're in the Porsche curves. The Peugeot did get a bit of a gap in the Porsche curves to Neil and the Audi.
Yeah, he did there. He's got a good push there. He's got some good, oh, Neil, see the hybrid just having the extra downforce of the hybrid cars helping him catch up in the corners. And TY now in the pits. So TY now definitely back down to where he was in class. And yeah, he's got to do a full service on that car, Will.
Yeah, he's going to have to. And if I were him, to be honest, I would probably make one more stop for tires, as Neil has a big slide.
Neil, that's not good for your tyre wear, Sunshine. Don't do that all the time. But yeah, you need to keep those super softs as fresh as you can, especially if you're fighting a car that's on soft tyres. So yeah, I need to kind of keep them as clean as you can. But Bidster's on super softs. He thinks the super softs are fine, and he's got a good lead there.
Yeah, and with the gap he has, that's not a bad strategy.
And Homesick in, so Homesick pitch, so let's have a look at the others. So the others, fuel, Rodders' fuel is definitely fine. He's well ahead of this group. Looks like he's well cemented for this win so far. But Street 1 second now, as Homesick's in 3rd. Thingamajig, he's going to take 3rd place here.
Yeah, and it looks like he's almost playing the strategy game here, where pitting a bit earlier than everybody else in class might be helping him.
New tyres go on the Aston Martin then, and the fuel will start to go in. As Gummy Bear is still in 9th to the medium tyres on the Ferrari, obviously not much of a hindrance. I'm still really surprised at the pace of the Supra and the Corvette here, because I still think they should be well ahead of Gummy Bear by now. But it just shows you how hard Gummy's pushing, and just imagine if he was on soft tyres, how far ahead he could be in the race.
Oh yeah, if he was on soft, he would probably be a good 3-4 seconds ahead of this group, or even more. And in some of the shots, you're starting to see that the Viper is starting to come into play here, so we might see a full-weight battle here.
Stacker, he's come out behind Homesick. Homesick full service on that car, full tank of fuel, fresh tyres. Stacker's got a 1/3 of a tank with a slightly worn soft tyre, super soft tyres. But yeah, now Stacker's got, I think, yeah, Stacker's well within drafting range there, so he could get a draft from the Aston and pull himself up. Yeah, and save fuel.
On the last few laps, and save fuel in the last few laps, as you're starting to see, you can see that little pack of 3 coming to him every lap.
Yeah, and also the lap times in the 59, 58s as well. So just a little mistake on probably lap 24, I think it was. But yeah, there's definitely. Oh, look at it, he's closing up now. Homesick saving fuel. He wants to stick behind Stacker, and Stacker takes the bait.
You're starting to see people not worrying about passing right now or staying ahead, because they're trying to save fuel going for that last stop. Because if they can make the person ahead of them not save fuel, that means they can just easily pass them in the pit lane and stay out.
Yeah, which is what Homesick's going to try and do now. If he can try and go longer on fuel, they might be able to keep the thingamajig. But then again now, he is closing on him, but I think he's turned the engine down. He's got share play stops in 5 minutes.
But it looks like he's wanting to get ahead of him going down into the chicane.
Yeah, but again, they've got a share play stops in 5 minutes, so we'll keep going for as long as we can with this stint. But doing good so far. Neil is still with Callum.
And you're going to see the Audi pulling back in with a high downforce and a higher power and force gain.
Yeah, straight back through, and right behind him going for a move there. He's not afraid to challenge the Peugeot, and now Neil showing his cards on the table with a 319.7. The 20 barrier has been broken in the race. Wow!
And Neil's pushing hard right now to stay ahead of Callum, because he knows Callum's going to be staying out for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I think he knows that now. And Callum with a 320.3 of his own, but then Neil just goes and rubs salt in the wounds of that Peugeot and just shows him what pace that he has actually got in that Audi. As 4/10 faster again in the first sector. Oh, this is going to be mental, this.
Yeah, he's pushing hard because Callum doesn't have to stop anymore. Nope. And Callum's looks like go back through in the draft.
And then Neil's like, oh, now you'll know a lot about drafting, Will, with a lot of the IndyCar racing that we've got over there and stuff. But that was a little dive to try and stop the draft, that weren't it?
Oh yeah, it was. Callum's not wanting Neil to draft with him because Callum wants Neil to stop again, so then he doesn't have to deal with him on his tail. But Neil's going faster and faster in each second.
I don't think bump drafting works in LPB cars. I don't think. Not really.
No.
Not really. They tend to end in. That made me jump. That was seat one getting not seat one. Sorry, that was. Who was it? Thundercats being passed.
Thundercats.
Yeah, Thundercats being passed. The seat one's in the pits. Then in the Porsche, seat one in the pits. He's got. He's actually not gone into the red on fuel. So unless he wants to just have a slightly quicker stop. But yeah, Rod is still in the lead by a country mile, and then we've got Thingamajig there closing up. So Thingamajig's definitely going to take third here, and I'm wondering if Seek's going to come out in this mob. I hope he doesn't, because that's going to ruin his race.
It will, but it'll make this battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th even better.
Oh, it's great for us. Yeah, it's great for us, but not for his race. As he goes, as they go out the corner, and it's Keith ahead of the pack now. Jamo back in the usual position of following them, and Homesick's closing up on them rapidly as well. Oh, controversial. Stacker's in with a lot of fuel left.
Yeah, he's breaking strategy. You're going to see that at the end of this race. People are going to get off strategy trying to see what's going to work and what will.
I'm going to take this, Will.
And looks like it's going to be tight, but looks like Homesick's going to take it from seat going to Dunlop chicane.
And he gets ahead, and I would imagine the Aston now will stay there unless Seek's got any plans to be the car that provides the draft. But if I was Seek now, I'd try and plant myself behind that Aston, tuck in very nicely behind the big fat wing, and then see what it can do for me.
Yeah, that's going to be the smartest thing to do.
And speaking of smart, I'm not sure if this is a smart move by Stacker, actually just separating his strategy out. When actually on the strategy he was on track to actually get some good places up, but he's switched it up and he's still on his own now, but I don't see that working for him.
I mean, it could play out, because if he can stay out longer than the pack ahead of him, he could make up a few positions or be in that group when the last 5-10 laps come in.
And Techno is now ahead of Firepower, and Firepower gets passed by Bidster into the first corner, so Techno is now into 13th place. He is no longer in last. Oh, I've just realised we've lost a car. We're down to 15 cars.
We are.
We've lost someone. Just I'll let you take the reins here for a moment while I have a look down the list.
And it looks like it's going to be tight again, where it looks like Neil dipped into the 18s. It looks like he hasn't, but he went better again. The 319.
It was Callum.
Callum went to the 318s.
Wow, that was definitely drafting. I've got less than a minute on the share play in this section, and unfortunately, Will, it was you who's gone.
It was.
It's you who's gone. You're still here, but you're not here. So yeah, very strange one. But yeah, so unfortunately we've just lost Will, disconnected from the race in the Z4. So on that horrible disappointment, we'll leave this section there, and then we'll see you guys for part 3. Thank you for watching part 2 of the LPB Racing 2.4 Hours of Le Mans 2019. Hope you all enjoyed part 2 there, and next time we're going to bring you part 3.